Hello and welcome to the Simple Game Dev. My name is Remy Storms and this is part 7 of the tutorial, making the pickups. So this is gonna be a very quick tutorial, so let's jump right into it. I'm gonna start by hiding this spawner because we don't really need it right now. And we are going into our FBX folder inside the Bombs and Veggies package that we downloaded. And inside of that, you will see this Bombs and Veggies FBX. And if you open the hierarchy, you will see that it contains a bunch of models. So let's drag and drop it into our scene. And in this case, we're not going to do all of them because it's pretty much the same process. So I'm just gonna grab let's say the tomato and the bomb, and I'm gonna put them outside of the parent. I'm gonna delete it. That's fine. It's gonna destroy the link to it, but it doesn't matter. So let's start by adding a sphere collider to both of them. And the way you do that is by going into Add Component here in the Inspector, or you can also do it in here. Component, Physics, and Sphere Collider. That's it. Now make sure both of them are set to triggers, and I'll explain that later. But for now, let's keep it as triggers. Now let's create the script for this pickup items. I'll create the C# script, and I'm going to call it pickup script. Okay. So let's open our pickup script and start typing. So the first thing we need to do is declare a public boolean. I'm gonna call this is bomb. Then another public string for the name, and a public int for the value. That's it. I'm going to save it, close it, and I'm going to add that script we just created to the tomato. Now if you see, since we made them public, you can see them right here in the inspector. So let's also add the same script to the bomb pickup script. And basically, if I open the script again, what we want this script to do is just hold the different values for our pickups. For now, I just want these 3 values, but later on, if we need more, we can obviously add them. So public bool is bomb. It's a boolean that will tell us if the actual pickup is a bomb or if it's not a bomb. In this case, it's a vegetable, right? That's why it's just a bool. We only need to know if it's a bomb or not. The public string name, it's in case we want to change the name of whatever vegetable or item we might use it, or it might be just for a naming convention. And lastly, we need an integer called value. In this case, we use the value to know how much points to add to the player in case they grab it properly. So let's start with the bomb. The bomb, we have to check the is bomb bool, and then change the name to bomb. The value, well, since the explosives don't really give you any points or take away any points, we can leave it as 0. For the tomato, I'm going to leave the isBomb unchecked, and I'm going to name it tomato. And for the value, I don't know, let's say 10 points. Every time you grab a tomato, you will get 10 points. That's it. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to speed up the process in case you want to see how I do this for the rest of the bombs and vegetables, but it's pretty much the same thing. So you don't have to worry too much about it. So I'm going to speed it up right now. Now the last thing we need to do is actually create the prefabs for this. So I'm going to my prefabs folder. Now I'm going to create another folder to keep our veggies, actually our bombs, veggies, prefabs. Now we're going to drag all of them. And that will create the prefabs. Now, if you pay attention to this objects, the models, you will see that the vegetable and the bomb, they are pretty much, well, very similar, but that's kind of the point in here, because we want the player to pay attention to it before grabbing it, right? So this tomato looks a lot like this bomb, which is kind of the mechanic of it. We want players to make sure to pay attention to what they're grabbing. That's pretty much why I designed them to look like this, right? So that's pretty much it for this video tutorial. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you on the next one.